Okay, boxing fans, this is my post-fight video for GENNADY Golovkin versus Willie Munroe Jr. What can I tell you? What can I say to you? I'll be honest. I set my alarm for 2 a.m. in the morning, 10 p.m. HBO boxing time in America, and I slept through. After the Gonzalez fight, you thought I'd been ready to watch GGG, but no, I fell asleep. Only just finished watching the fight. Well, the exhibition match, may I say, because it's an exhibition, and it was an exhibition match for me. Munroe spoke at the beginning of the fight that, you know, he felt that he could do all things in God that strengthens him, and that's great, and that's fine. But I think from the very first round, as far as I'm concerned, that's the beginning of the end, because, you know, when you fight GGG on the back foot and you've got no pop in your punches, it's basically like cat and mouse. You know, you run around the ring, you got no pop. GGG stands in front of you, he just tracks you around the ring, starts landing big shots. And I mean, I'm watching a fight. Munroe in the back foot going with the left jab. I'm thinking that there's no snap in that jab. There's absolutely no snap. And GGG is going to come over the top with a right hand. It's only a matter of time, and then second round, boom, right hand. Munroe's on the canvas. I mean, you know, when you throw in your jab, what is your objective? If you're throwing a jab, bam, bam. What's your objective when you're throwing the jab? Are you looking to set up shots of your own? Munroe, for me, before he got knocked down, he didn't seem like he was looking to set up to. And once he felt the power of GGG early in the first, it was like he was startled. Like I said, a lot of fighters, they come into the ring with a game plan to box like they box in the sparring sessions, to box like they normally do, and they think they're going to do what they normally do, and they forget about the power of GGG. And that's where the problem is first and foremost. You know, and then as well, you're allowing the man to set his feet and land shots. Willie Munroe, when he's popping the jab, I want to see him pop the jab and keeps turning GGG, not allowing him to set. No, he was throwing the jab and GGG just put his hands up and walk forward. So you've got to give him lateral move. You've got to give a guy angles. I said, you know what? You deserve to get knocked over. And next, boom, he was on the floor. And I think to myself, you know what? You now deserve to get knocked out, because you're not fighting with a man who's got a passion. You're not pushing this man back. You're not even trying to push this man back. So then then later on, he started throwing good body shots. That was nice. Good work there, throwing the body shots. But wait, you're throwing the body shots. Come upstairs and throw the uppercut with it. So you're going to the body. 1, 2, 3, bang, bring the uppercut upstairs. Now the uppercut is a key punch to fight. When you're fighting Golovkin, he's open to the body. He's also open to uppercuts. When he comes in like that. Golovkin comes into you like that. And when you come in like that, you've got all this open. Let me tell you something. Let me explain something to you. Golovkin can do what he's doing at the moment against these guys who are not like... If Golovkin was to fight a puncher like himself, he would not be able to just walk forward like that. He couldn't do it. It's not possible, right? Because you're taking something back in return and your legs are getting rocked and you're getting rocked yourself. You have to take a different game plan. So as long as Golovkin's fighting these guys that can't punch or not willing to punch, there's two types. You're not willing to engage. That means you get hit and hurt, and then you go into survival mode. And then you've got those who can punch, but not willing to engage again because they're going to get hit and hurt, right? Those are two guys, the two types of fighters that should not be in the ring of GENNADY Golovkin. You need to have in the ring of a guy who's be prepared to throw punches. I don't mean a guy that's prepared to throw punches after he's knocked down and the wind's been taken out of his sails, right? I'm talking about a guy that from first round says, I'm coming, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. Like you're giving it to me, I'm giving it to you. I.e., like example, a Julie Jackson, a G-Man, Jerry McLennan, a Nigel Benn. Do you mean ferocious punches? Men with a mentality that is going to come out there and take your head off, right? And when you are walking like this and he catches your shot, he's going to come bang you with 3 or 4. He's setting the pace. Too often in GGG fights, fighters are on the back foot and just looking to set the shots up. No, you've got to go forward to GGG. You've got to throw the jab and throw the right hand with some meaning early. You've got to hit GGG early and hard. And don't allow him to set his shots up. But way too often in GGG fights, it's the same old thing. Hands up. He said, oh, he cuts the ring down better than anybody in the world. Well, I could probably cut the ring down better than anybody in the world if I was fighting guys that didn't punch or didn't want to punch me, either because of my hype or because of my aura or because of the fact that I do punch hard. But I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that GGG is this phenomenal puncher. I've seen things now that make me think, well, okay, Martin Murray, 11 rounds. Now this guy, Willie Munroe. And again, I think to myself, you know what? When you move up in class, GGG, and you're going to get guys that are going to tag you hard and hit you hard. I'm not talking about tap you and throw a few punches and scare you. Who's going to not be worried about your reputation. Who's going to come out there and hit you hard. Then we're going to see how much of a puncher you are. Because then you're having to now think about what's coming in. At the moment, you're not having to worry about the incoming. And I would suggest to boxing fans, don't be so, be very concerned about GGG's defense because it's leaky. For me, he looked sloppy. If you can get a guy out there, get him out of there. Don't be waiting 5 or 6 rounds to try and get a man out there. Get him out there. Oh, I'm trying to entertain the public. Well, okay, fine. Well, let me see you do that against somebody who can really dig. Who can really dig and wants to take your head off of you. I can tell you, when somebody wants to take your head off, take your head off, you ain't gonna have time to be putting on exhibition matches. So those are my thoughts about GGG versus Willie Munroe. It was an exhibition match, and anybody who expected anything more of that was, I don't know. I think the expectation was like turning water into wine, to be honest. It is what it is, and that's exactly what it was. No more, no less. Biding time. Another exhibition match. That's all I can say. Going forward for GGG and guys who are going to fight and beat GGG, or have a chance of beating GGG, look to the mentality of the fighter. Look very close at the mentality of the fighter. Is he hungry? Does he want it? Does he have a string of knockouts behind him? Does he have a mentality that doesn't care? Does he have a reputation? Is he a guy that throws very good body punches? If there are weaknesses, I would say it's to the body of GGG and the uppercut. I don't think he can block an uppercut. I really don't. So the body shots, the uppercuts, and I'm not convinced also that you just have to be a mover against GGG. I think you've got to give him angles, indeed, but you can give him angles and still be a puncher. So somebody said to me the other day, I think it was on Twitter yesterday, they said to me, oh, well, you know what? I can't see a boxer being GGG because if they're a boxer, they're not going to punch. I said, well, Ray Leonard, I'd stick Ray Leonard in there with GGG tomorrow, no problems. I'd put Hearns in there tomorrow, no problem. I don't know how you can put legendary guys like Hagar, Hearns, Leonard, Duran. How can you bring those great fighters' names? They fought the best of the best. This guy's having exhibition matches against B-class opposition, and you put him in there with the greats. I mean, I did an interview with Abel Sanchez about how he thinks GGG would do against the legends of the game. He thinks that he'd struggle against Joe Kawasaki. Now, let's remember something. GGG hasn't fought the very best of the division yet. He's still seeking unification matches. He's fought a lot of guys, I think, that are okay. They're okay, but they're not great. There's nobody you can say in his resume and say, yeah, that was a great fighter he fought. That brother Ware was a top 10 fighter. You don't say that. I mean, a top 10 fighter that you think, you know what? A fighter where you're saying to yourself, don't know, this one's a 50-50 fight with GGG. Now, you look at this as well. Watch the trick here. They're talking about Canelo moving up. I don't think, I've said this before in my live shows, I don't think GGG and his camp have any intentions of moving up yet. They're going to stay in that middleweight division, make as much money as possible, right? Stay in the middleweight division and allow fighters to move up. So GGG retains the advantages he has. I don't believe when he moves up to super middleweight he'll be as effective. And if he's going to box like that against someone like Andre Ward, I mean, come on, man. Andre Ward fought the best of the best. He fought the best of the best in Super 6. All types of fighters. Yeah? And Ward or Dre is not going to give. He's not going to stand in front of GGG and be scared. Scared to throw a jab. Ward is going to get inside of GGG. He's going to whip uppercuts. He's going to throw body shots. He's going to spin GG. He's going to hold him. He's going to tie him up. He's going to frustrate him. When he frustrates him, he's going to land in shots on him. Right? So, I might not even be the case of somebody being a heavy puncher, but an accurate puncher. An accurate puncher with speed and movement. Alright? I just don't, and I don't mean movement meaning, shit, I'm scared of you. Meaning, no, moving meaning, I'm going to set you up. I'm looking to knock you out. I'm looking to walk into this corner, and as you come into this corner, I'm going to check left hook you. Or you move into this corner, I'm going to slip your left and come in with my own right. That sort of thing. Calculated, planning. Do you know what I mean? Not worried about taking a shot because they can land their own. Either that way, or a guy that's going to come out there and have a war with GGG. It's one of the two. And when GGG eventually does get beat, it's either against a guy that takes his best shot and comes back and hits him and hurts him, or against an unknown, meaning a guy that people didn't expect to beat him, beats him. That's what I think. I'm not sure how much heart GGG has. We're going to have to see later down the line. Let's see this man be pushed back. Let's see him be pushed back against a man who's got the mentality and wants to fight. Let's see him come through that. If he can come through that, then we really know we've got something special there. He's good. He's good. How good? We still wait to see. So those are my thoughts about GGG. Everyone's excited about Canelo fight. I would prefer to see Canelo, which I believe is on the dotted line, Canelo fight Cotto, because Cotto is not a middleweight. I said it before. And the faster he gets that middleweight title taken off of him, the better. If Gil doesn't do it, I hope Canelo comes and takes it, because I think Canelo is he's more likely to make the middleweight division easier than Cotto, who started his career, I believe, either light welter or welter. He's not a natural middleweight, where I think that Canelo boils himself down to make it light middle. So I believe that Canelo takes that title off of Cotto, and it's only a matter of time. Cotto, again, not a legit middleweight. The fact he's having to fight a catch weight for his middleweight title is disgusting, and just for that alone he should get knocked out. It makes a disgrace of the middleweight division. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. Big fan of Miguel Cotto at welterweight. Wasn't convinced of him at light middle, and at middleweight he's lucky he fought a man that was injured going into the fight, which is Martinez, and as far as I'm concerned, Martinez was shot to pieces when he fought him. So Miguel Cotto's had a very nice time as middleweight or catchweight champion, because anytime a guy starts talking about fighting catchweight and he's a world champion, no, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It makes, especially in the middleweight division, you have to be great fighters. That just makes a mockery of the sport for me, and makes a mockery of the great middleweights that are around. So those are my thoughts. So I've offended a few people out there, but I'm just saying it as it is. GGG is not great. GGG is not worthy of being put in the same ring as Hagler, Hearns, Leonard, Duran. Those guys fought the best of the best. They fought the best of the best, right? And I said, finally, Abel Sanchez managed Terry Norris, and for my reckoning, I believe that he kept Terry Norris in the same weight division for years. So I think that's what they'll do. They'll milk the middleweight division and really become unified champion, unified undisputed champion. And you know, I'd like to see him fight Quillin. More so, I'd like to see him fight Andy Lee, because at least with Andy Lee, Lee may go out, get knocked out, but Lee's gonna land something heavy on you, right? And he out business. He'll land something on you. He'll try and fight you. So Lee might get knocked out in 2 rounds, but you know Lee's coming with something deadly. Quillin another, but I'm not too convinced about Quillin's mentality. I'm not sure about his mental state, but he's certainly got all the skills there. to give GGG a nice push. And Lemure's the fight I want. I want to see GGG fight Lemure. That's a fight I want to see because there's a man who's two-fisted in his attack. We know has got real knockout power in both hands. And if any of those shots land on GGG, we know we got to fight. So it's ain't GGG hating. It's just I ain't gonna blow no smoke up that man's ass. If you're gonna hate on Floyd Mayweather and he's fought the best of the best. He's fought pound for pound #2 in the world. You know, he still fought him. So if you're gonna hate on Floyd Mayweather, you gotta hate on GGG as well. So it's balanced. It's not hate. It's just what it is. So, and I wouldn't be surprised to close on this that Mayweather's final fight would be something against like Paulie Malignaggi, or yeah, probably Paulie Malignaggi. I think. And if you could have fought Chris Algieri, fought Chris Algieri. I hear rumours of Ortiz fight too. Ortiz doesn't deserve a rematch, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I'd like Malignaggi to be a good fight and stop the talk about a rematch with Pacquiao in 2016. Right, that's it. I'm going on now. I'm off. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments. This has been Ingram Jones from Bayloric TV Boxing Channel. I'm out. Take care. Have a great day.